Hi everyone, and welcome to TWF Thursday Night Impact or Hit. Ah, oh, come on. And today on Thursday Night Impact or Hit, we have a mermaid. Yes, she came from Five and Below, the one in Pleasant Hills Borough, not the one in McKeesport Stead. And I believe her name is, Sololia, or I don't know how to say the name, you know. I, Joey Styles, with Jonathan Coachman and Aiden English, and today on Thursday Night Impact or Hit, we have Solia, like Solon, but I guess it's spelled Sololsa. I don't know. But that's the grace I'm coming to say her name. And if someone knows the right way of saying the name I just told you, or knows this kind of doll, let me know. Alright everyone, I know I'm not the first mermaid to ever be here in the toy wrestling gathering. Oh yeah, and Joey Styles says she came from Five and Below, the one in Pleasant Hills Borough, not the one from McKeesport Stead. Well, that's right, Jonathan Coachman says. She did come from that Five and Below, which is like Hot Topic without being, kind of like that. Jonathan Coachman says, I'll tell you one thing Aiden English said, how's she going to wrestle? How's she going to fight? Because at the end of the day, that is what we're going to need to see here in the toy wrestling gathering. Well, I know I'm not the first mermaid to ever be here in the toy wrestling gathering, and I'm most likely not going to be the last one. And you look at me and you think, there's no way that I can wrestle. There's no way I can fight, you're thinking. You're thinking that there's no way this can work. But this is where you'd be wrong at. Because at the end of the day, I can wrestle. And I can fight. Shit. And some folks, sadly, might think I can't. But I'll show you I can. Oh no. Great, Joey Styles says. Now we got Austin Theory, and here comes Maxwell Jacob Friedman, who knows he can't get in the ring now, since she's in the way. We happen to belong to the site, or at least the TWF offshoot of the site. And you say that you come to the toy wrestling gathering from Five and Below. Well, first off, don't make anyone laugh about that one. And two, at the end of the day, there's no way you're going to beat us. You see, our overseer, Paulie Dangerously, knows that we can beat you. Well, how can you beat me? We even have a match. And at the end of the day, I know that I can beat the two of you. I mean, come on. There's no way you can beat me. Maxwell Jacob Friedman says. You're not a wrestler. You're not a fighter. Oh, that's right, Austin Theory says. You got that right, Maxwell. She is no wrestler. And she is no fighter. So she's smooth takens. Well, I beg to unlikeness about that. If it's Solia or Solinia, or however you say that name, I think that she can wrestle and she can fight, or she would not be here in the toy wrestling gathering. So here today, on Thursday Night Impact or Hit, we will see Maxwell Jacob Friedman and Austin Theory. We'll see Solia take on Maxwell Jacob Friedman. Just because you think that she can't beat you, well, we're going to put that belief to the stretch. Well, we just heard from the main wicker of the Toy Wrestling Gathering, Autolycus, the King of Thieves. And now it looks like that match is going to happen now, Joey Styles said. Yeah, we'll have to see if Solia or Solinia, however you say that name, can beat Maxwell Jacob Friedman or not. Joey Styles said Maxwell Jacob Friedman probably thinks he's going to win this match, but Solia picked him up and body slammed Maxwell Jacob Friedman, the first mermaid from Five and Below to take it to the former two-time TWF heavyweight fighter Maxwell Jacob Friedman, and the two-time AEW heavyweight fighter too. Joey Styles said, "You got that right." And Maxwell Jacob Friedman doesn't know how a mermaid is beating him. Joey Styles says, "You got that right." Jonathan Coachman says he doesn't quite understand how a doll from Five and Below, a mermaid, can beat him. Aiden English says he's going to get the upper hand on her. She was never made to wrestle. She was never made to fight. It's going to happen. Maxwell Jacob Friedman just got the upper hand on her. Oh, and down she went. See? I told you. Maxwell Jacob Friedman is going to have her beat. And look. And look what he's going to do, Aiden English said. He's going to beat this mermaid doll from Five and Below. He's going to beat, Solinia, or however you say her name. Well, we'll have to see, Joey Styles said, if he can get the 1-2-3 or not. Here we go. 1, 2, and a kick out. Well, only 2, so that didn't work. And Maxwell Jacob Friedman can't understand it. She just dropped him on his lair. The tail down. She hit him. She did, Joey Styles said. She hit him with the tail down. She did the splash on him, Joey Styles said. And no, I'm not talking about the Tom Hanks film called Splash, Joey Styles says. While Jonathan Coachman said, yeah, a lot of folks would think if you said it, they think you're thinking of the Tom Hanks film called Splash that had Tom Hanks play himself who befriended and fell in love with a mermaid. Jonathan Coachman says, yeah, that's true. No, don't beat Maxwell Jacob Friedman. Don't do this, Aiden English said. No, you can't get beat by a mermaid. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Ding, ding, ding. Here is your winner, Solina, or like Solinia, whoever her name is. She ended up beating, Maxwell Jacob Friedman here today on Thursday Night Impact or Hit, Joey Styles says. So how does that feel to the site? How is Maxwell Jacob Friedman and Austin Theory going to deal with it, Joey Styles says. And the asking thing I ask yourself too is how Paulie Dangerous is going to deal with it, knowing that half the site ended up losing their tag team winnings. Now, losing a match to a mermaid doll from Five and Below, Jonathan Coachman says. I can tell you one thing right now, Aiden English says, knowing Maxwell Jacob Friedman, knowing Austin Theory, knowing Paulie Dangerously, they're not going to be happy. They're not going to deal with it, well. They're going to see it as a slight. You can write my words. They will see it as a slight. Well, alright, we'll take it away now to Gorilla Monsoon. Thank you, Joey Styles and Jonathan Coachman. I'm going to be talking with Solina here today on Thursday Night Impact or Hit. If I know how to say her name or not. Might have to get the box. Okay. Oh, so now it doesn't work now? What the fuck? Alright. Alright, Solia or Solina. We saw you have your first match here today on Thursday Night Impact or Hit. Your first match being here in the Toy Wrestling Gathering since you came from 5 and Below today. And you beat Maxwell Jacob Friedman. Well, Maxwell Jacob Friedman believed Gorilla Monsoon. Believed that I could not, beat him. Thought that I wasn't a wrestler. But the truth was I was. And I showed it here today on Thursday Night Impact or Hit. Well, some other things that some folks out there might want to wonder about you is, how is your name said? I mean, how is it spelled? I mean, you think it's Solon, like that Hellenistic borrowed name. You think it's Solia or Solina because there's 2 A's in the name somewhere. Yeah, Solina or Solina, however you want to say that name, that's the nearest way that anyone is going to say my name. And yeah, a lot of folks might look at me and they might think that I can't wrestle or I can't fight. But I showed MJF or Maxwell Jacob Friedman that I could wrestle and that I could fight. Well, are you worried about Maxwell Jacob Friedman and Austin Theory and Brock Lesnar and Paulie Dangerously making something more out of it? Well, if they want to, they can. If I already beat Maxwell Jacob Friedman, I can beat Austin Theory. That means I can beat Brock Lesnar. So, I say, if they want to come at me, I say, bring it on. Well, that's my talk with Solia or Solina. Back to you, Joey Styles and Jonathan Coachman. Well, thank you, Gorilla Monsoon, for talking with Solia or Solina here today on Thursday Night Impact or Hit. And that's all the time we got it for Thursday Night Impact or Hit. I, Joey Styles, with Jonathan Coachman and Aiden English. We hope you like Thursday Night Impact or Hit. And we'll see you tomorrow for Friday Night SmackDown.